Okay, so I think we're all here, which is very exciting. And I would like to introduce everyone to Jen Miller. Hi, Jen. Morning.
Which one? Jen.
Jen.
Oh, sorry.
Jen.
Yeah, hello.
Jen, can I put you on the spot and ask you just to do a little intro to the group?
Yeah, sure. So I work as part of the RYA team in the area, covering the East area. So some of you may have come across Robbie Bell, who's the boss, if you like. He's the regional development officer in the area, and then myself and Holly Hancock work alongside him. And we've each got our own little projects and things that we look after in the area. And one of those things that I look after or look out for is female participation in the sport, which is why I've come along to see you and just get an insight as to what you guys do online, but just to kind of get an idea of the dynamic of the group, and just if later on we do get a chance, it'd be lovely to ask you guys some questions, things like, you know, what's WoW done for you, and kind of where did WoW come from, and what was the incentive behind it? What did you guys want to get out of it? And what have you got out of it? Because I'd really like to use this to inspire others to create their own groups or do something different with their groups. So if that's okay with you guys, that's basically why I'm here, and just want to come say hi.
And learn about role tacking.
Brilliant, even better.
I really hope everyone's expectations for the role tacking are very low today, seeing as it's not something I can do at all. I'm still learning. And I was just saying before you joined, Jen, I tried to have a practice sitting on the side of my bath yesterday, but it doesn't really help. So I will do my best to talk about role tacking. Does anyone have any questions for Jen before we go on to role tacking? Okay.
Gemma?
Yeah.
Sorry, are you going to do a quick recap on what Sonia talked about last week? Was anybody not here last week? Hannah. Hannah should know this. Not that I'm putting her on the spot.
You want me to quick recap on rudderless sailing?
Or you could get Sonia to do it, put Sonia on the spot. Like 5 seconds worth of how it works.
Yes, please, Sonia, because it follows on quite nicely.
Okay, so the 5-second version, you can steer your boat without the rudder by using the shape of the hull and the position of your sails and your weight. So you're trying to get where the effort is in the sails opposed to where the effort is under the water, and if you get them out of balance, the boat will turn. So the short summary is it sails in, heel the boat to leeward, the boat will come into the wind. Sails out, heel to windward, the boat will turn away from the wind. That's it.
Brilliant.
That makes sense. Gemma. Any questions on that? Okay. Well, role tacking does follow on from that quite nicely. In a role tack, we're typically using our weight and the sails to turn the boat rather than using the tiller. I know my boys are just starting out on their topper squad journey, and apparently in some of the topper squads, the tiller is known as the enemy. As what we saw in Sonia's presentation last week was, as you use your tiller, your rudder creates drag. It can initiate turns in the boat that maybe you don't want. So a roll tack is useful as we're using our weight and the sail to tack the boat rather than push, pull, which can send you into circles. I'm going to try and share my screen here. So what is roll tacking? Well, I've just explained it's really using your weight and the sail to tack. It's supposed to be fast and smooth. it's a good technique for light wind sailing, particularly because you're not slowing down the boat at all in the tack, and you're hopefully accelerating out of it quite smoothly. And it can give you a good tactical advantage when you're racing as well. Now, I found a video. It isn't the best video, but it will give you an idea. So I'm just going to play this to start off with. I think I have to share my other screen.
We could, but I can't actually select it because it's a screen share. Probably open the video. I'm trying to unshare. Unshare. Oh, we're not on mute.
Never heard everyone so quiet.
I
Are you
think
all
I've put
right with that, Gemma?
Well, I think I put everyone on mute. That might be why.
Oh, okay.
And now I can't see everybody. Where are you all? Did that make sense? Is that all? I'm going to break it down in a bit more detail, obviously. But does that give you a good idea as to what's involved?
Were we supposed to see a different screen, Gemma? Just because we're still looking at the PowerPoint?
We didn't see a video.
You didn't see the video, and no one said anything.
We were all being very quiet, waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless
I think you have to
Okay.
unshare and then reshare when you've got the next video window open.
Yes, I think it's because I've got two screens going on, and I'm trying to share the right screen. Let's try this one.
That
Can you see a man in a boat?
no. Still the PowerPoint.
PowerPoint blipped for a second.
Okay, let's try something else.
Is your webcam separate? Can you just point it towards the screen playing a video?
I think if I put my video on the other screen.
See, too much technology. It's not good for you.
Sorry, guys.
And Veronica wants to be let back in.
Oh, is she waiting?
Yeah, she had internet issues.
Sorry, okay, Veronica, I'll let her back in.
Hey.
Hey.
There he is. Now I don't know who he is. I think he's German, I'm guessing, because he's got that on his sail. But have a look at this, and then I'll show you the whole thing, which is about a minute and a half, and then we'll break it down a bit more.
Veronica, we can only see your arm.
So easy.
It's really big for that boat. You're playing German rock music.
Oh, sorry, he's gone again, hasn't he?
Yeah, we got the gist though.
That's all right. We saw him being very acrobatic and youthful.
We can all look it up on YouTube.
We saw him do a couple anyway, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's Dirk. Many years ago. Surely that would have been black and white, Maria.
So that's what it's supposed to look like. I'm just going to see if I can share it again, and I'll pause it at each stage and try and explain a little bit more about what is going on. Okay, can you all see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that we don't see him do, but obviously the first thing that you need to do is just look to make sure that you're clear to tack. And the key thing with the roll tack, which I know Vanessa will always remind us of, is to tuck your feet under you. That's because you need to be in a position to spring across the boat when it's coming back on top of you. So you need to be very nimble and have your feet under you in order that you can make that smooth step across. Now, as we know, if you pull your sail in, does anyone know what will happen to the direction of the boat? As we pull our sail in, what is going to happen to the way that we're pointing? Can anyone tell me? Abby? Can you say that again? Sorry, Abby.
She's muted.
Head up.
You will head up, exactly. So what we'll see is that he will hopefully use his weight and he will pull his sail in a little bit to begin to allow the boat to turn into the wind. So he has got a little push on his tiller there, but really he's using his weight and bringing the sail in to allow the boat to turn into the wind. And can you see where this gunnel, where he's sitting is in the water before he even begins to move across the boat? So he's almost waiting until the boat is almost completely through the wind and the sail is almost on top of him and the boat is almost on top of him before he decides to move smoothly across the boat. And it's really a question of waiting much, much longer than you think. And a tip from Sonia when she saw my presentation is to remind you all not to wear a hat or to wear your hair in a bun, as this can cause capsizes occasionally if you get your head caught on the boom as you duck under. One other useful point to mention is that you see he's got his left hand and he's trapping his tiller extension on the other side. He wants to lock his tiller in place, so his rudder should be central, aligned with the boom in the middle of the boat, and he's clasping his extension tightly on that gunnel and pulling himself across as well. He then goes straight away to hike on the other side, and he's trying to flatten the boat as he pushes through the tack. You'll see he flattens the boat, he sits down, and almost at the same time he's pulling in his main sheet to give himself that extra little burst of speed to push through the tack. And he doesn't swap his hands until he's happy on his new heading. He's completed his tack, and then he's got time to swap hands at the end.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, who had a question?
Sally.
Sally.
All right, so the other hand that's not holding the tiller, as well as his feet being underneath him, he's using that hand to push himself, is he?
I think he's holding his main sheets with that other hand.
Oh,
So
okay.
Sally, if that was me, I would definitely be using my hand to push myself because I'm old and my joints don't work very well. So he might be.
I'd be doing it too.
I think if you see some of the Oppie sailors, they use their other hand with the sheets in to grab the centerboard case as they come across to help almost pull them across.
Right.
I did that on the Lightning because it had a handhold that you could grab.
Yeah, I've been grabbing sort of where the main block is in the middle.
Can you carry the video on again?
You see that nice use of really big armfuls of sheet, guys. That's what I've been trying to get you to do too.
Can I butt in?
Look how far he is in the water there. His back is almost in the water. His gunnel's right in the water before he's even thinking about crossing the boat.
Can I say, one of my problems with roll tacking is that I end up pulling the boat over on top of me when I've tacked, which is not the point. And what he's doing, which I've never seen before, is he's out, yeah, and pulling the boat flat, but as soon as it comes flat, as it's coming flat, he's sliding back into the middle of the boat.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that illustrated before.
So he's sort of neutralizing it, isn't he?
Yeah, is that a good technique, Vanessa? Is that something you'd recommend, that little sort of...
Yes, because what can happen, as Abby says, when if you're over flattening it, if you then start heeling it to windward, the sail will flap and lose all its air, so it'll like billow out towards you. So his technique is good, just to slide back in. And for those of you that have got fully back mains in your bites, then again, it's a good technique because it stops the battens going into that horrible wobbly pattern that can happen. Jen, you should know about bites because I think Pippa actually bought what used to be your boat.
I think one of you guys have got my old boat.
Yeah, Pippa. She's not here. How dare she?
How dare she be saving lives?
Yeah. She's out on the water.
I think the interesting thing for me watching this is that I know I have a tendency to oversteer massively in attack, maybe from having sailed an aft main and from being in a mirror all these years where I feel like I want to push the tiller across really far and let that start the tack, whereas he's really using his body weight and the sails, and actually his tiller doesn't move much at all. And here he's just completed the tack, but again his tiller is very central down the middle of his boat, so he's reducing that drag all the time.
But he does use the tiller to initiate the tack. If you watch, it goes to the end of the tiller is almost out to the end of the gunnel.
He does.
So he uses it more than I thought he would.
Yeah, I think he does. Well, I don't know what, Vanessa may have some comments here. That looked too far to me, but Vanessa, well, we start again. Maybe let's look at one of these earlier ones. He does seem to push it across quite far, further than I thought you needed to. So I think that looks
Can you pause that, Gemma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
I'm going to contradict you here because he's not, and Sonia might have picked up on it as well. Have you, Sonia, how he's turning the boat?
Well, you'd expect him to be leaning it the other way to start the
Yeah,
turn and pulling the sail in.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I make this
So, go on.
Sorry, I was emailing Gemma about this, saying he's starting the turn with his rudder.
Yeah, and he's also so he's not using his weight to make the boat turn. He's sort of sitting in what I would imagine is a neutral position, and he is using more rudder than you would think. But if you look at where his boom is and his sheet at the end of the boom going down to the transom, can you see where that is? It's really tight in. So typically in a laser, in that sort of wind, you wouldn't have the sheet as tight as that. So what he's actually used to, and you can see it better in another shot where the leech is really hooked, he's actually used the sheet and the rudder to initiate the tack rather than his body weight. So the sheet is in, the sail is in too tight for those wind conditions. What do you think, Sonia?
Are you saying he effectively couldn't pull his main sheet in to start the turn because it was already in too tight?
We don't see where he sheets in, but if we saw like 2 or 3 seconds before the video started, I believe we would see him sheeting quite hard to start that turn because he doesn't use his weight and the sheet is where it shouldn't be. Am I making sense? Hannah Hutchings, have you got anything to say about this?
The only thing that I would say, I think when I would try and roll tack in lighter winds, like possibly in this sort of situation, I think I would try to initiate my tack with my back foot. So, and his foot does appear to be, so I would sort of lean first to get the boat turning, but then sit out. Yeah. I don't know whether that's the right thing to do, but I feel like using my back foot to heel the boat away from me just for a fraction of a second, and I'd probably, so I'd still use my rudder and a bit, but it takes the pressure off the rudder and the turning. So you're initiating the turn just for a fraction of a second before you're getting your weight out, which I don't know. It's a bit hard to tell, isn't it? And because you can't.
This was one of my questions when I was looking into it, is that some people say you should have a tiny bit of leeward heel first. So you should begin, as you say, maybe push your back foot across or initiate a tiny bit of leeward heel before you then go back. However, some people were saying you shouldn't do that because it indicates to everybody that you're going to tack and it's not very stealthy. But I'm interested in what you think about that, whether you do need that tiny bit of leeward heel first, because he doesn't seem to do that either.
He's heeling the boat so it wants to turn away from the wind.
Yeah.
But he's steering into the wind, so he's just fighting against it.
I don't think there's much fighting going on because it's really light winds, but I have to say that, I think, Gemma, did you have another video? Can we look at that one? That was a more conventional video, I think.
Yes, let me see if I can find it.
Add to the turning bit with how much tiller you use, because am I right in thinking like actually you still push the tiller right away from you, but what you're doing by using your weight and sails as well is limiting the amount of time that you need to, because normally when you tack you push it away and then it sort of gradually creeps up to the wind, and if you're actually helping it move in, so you still push it hard away, but then it's less time, so there's less time where it's acting as a drag rather than only just moving it a little bit.
Do you want to answer that one, Sonia?
Yes. I agree. So I think the point is using everything together, so you need less rudder overall. You straighten the rudder much earlier.
Yeah,
I would say you don't push the rudder quite so far over.
Oh, okay.
I think that the way it's explained here is that you're actually letting the tiller sort of ease itself over as you're sort of initiating the movement with your weight, and then the tiller will sort of ease over itself. Let's see if I can find this other
The other thing to bear in mind is it does depend a lot on the boat that you're in. So my OK has got a stonking great rudder. It's something out of not the last, but the century before that. And if I use that too much, then it slows me down considerably. Hannah, were you waving at me? No, you've got to be careful of putting your hand in the air, otherwise you'll get picked on. Oh, that looks good. Abby.
Would it be fair to say that if you're using the tiller but the boat is heeled over, there's less of the rudder in the water anyway? So although there's drag, there's less of it than it would be if the boat was flat?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? When we were looking at that last video, and Gemma was talking about how the tiller was clamped in the middle of the boat, you could actually see the rudder out of the water, couldn't you? There wasn't much of it in the water, and it was indeed in a very straight line. So I think you're right. I think we're minimizing the amount of rudder in the water as well.
Right, I found another roll tacking one, so let's see if I can share this.
Oh, Veronica's leaving.
Just going to get a cup of tea. Oh no, she's cold. She's in the shed.
Are you in the shed, Veronica?
No, it's just the heating's gone off now.
Oh God.
Okay, let me know if you can't see it. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That was her sheeting in nicely there. And just before she moved, you could see her tiller was quite central too.
Rudder's almost completely out of the water.
Yeah, thank you, really.
Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
Was that a better example?
It was interesting because again, she didn't seem to do that heel to leeward that we've been talking about. But I also think that in this video there's fractionally more wind, so she's got a bit more impetus going into the turn. Is that you, Gemma?
No, it's my autoplay has gone on to my next YouTube.
And I think the other thing is that she's doing that heel to windward, because otherwise I can remember trying to achieve this in the 470, where you would heel it to leeward and then you'd heel it back to windward and then you'd heel it the other way again, and that was just too many moves. So I suspect that they're sacrificing, they're using more rudder so that they can get a bigger roll. Jen, have you got any views on this?
I think it really depends on where you're sailing and what you're doing. I think there is a lot of sense in allowing a little heel, particularly if it's slightly breezier enough that you can just bring your weight in slightly, which just allows the boat to heel. Relax your rudder, because you'll have to pull against it, because if you've got any heel, you get a bit of that word's completely gone from my brain.
Weather helm?
Weather helm. Yeah, weather helm. So you just relax the tiller, move your weight in slightly. The boat's going to do that. That's going to bring you up to wind. And then as it comes into wind, it will flatten. That's where you stay as you are, wait for the boat to come up, under the boom, and off you go to the other side. So it's very subtle if you want to use it. I think Gemma's point earlier was really valid. In a race tactic scenario, you don't want to give away too much of what you're going to be doing too early. But who of us are going to be sailing on a you know, on that kind of level of race course. I'm sure we love a bit of racing, but I probably wouldn't be able to tell if someone's going to attack because I've healed the boat a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly healing and trying to flatten the boat all the time. So I think for the sake of us, if we want to put a bit of lean in to get into Windward first, to initiate it, I'm all for it. Is that fair enough?
Yep, thank you.
Cool.
Gemma?
So, yeah, I've got a couple of videos of double-handed roll tacking. Now, would that be of interest to people now, or is that just going to make life more complicated?
Maria's
Yes.
nodding.
Maria's
Yeah,
nodding. Catherine would like to say that. Okay. So, just before we do, I'll just refresh the single-handed technique. So as we've said, it's tucking your feet under you before you sort of initiate that turn. And this, we may be thinking then either a little bit of leeward heel at that point just to help you turn into wind. And then we use our weight. We've already sheeted in and we are letting the tiller ease itself away. So we allow the boat to turn up into the wind. Now we wait until our gunnel's almost approaching the water behind us. And we then smoothly step across. The boom will be over towards the back of our head, and we can use our free hand, hopefully, to trap our tiller extension on the opposite gunnel, stand up and hike quickly on the other side of the boat in order to flatten out the boat. We're then sheeting in to accelerate smoothly through the roll and swap hands when we're happy on our new heading. I think it's really something we're going to have to practice on the water. It's very difficult to try and explain this in the classroom, but we can all have a practice hopefully soon. So let's have a look at the double-handers. And the difference is obviously with the double-handers that you've got the jib to think about, and what they tend to do mostly with the roll tack in a double-hander is back the jib until they're to sort of give them that momentum through the tack. And also it's really critical that the helm and the crew come across at exactly the same time. So if you see a boat doing this well, it is really, really impressive. Let's try this one.
Ooh. Does it make your knees ache just to watch it?
There we go. Smooth is slow and slow is fast and smooth is fast and whatever else he was going on about. Any thoughts, observations? Is that helpful?
It showed really clearly which foot goes over first, and it was, yeah, the pauses really helped. Yeah.
Not super keen on them crawling across the boat on their knees, though. That's really not a great place to be. But their hands and the way they initiated was good.
Is that what it's like in your boat, Catherine?
Of course, every time. I don't think I've done a roll tack for ages. Successfully, anyway.
I think
I do roll tacks.
Do we?
I do.
I know I have to back the jib.
Yeah.
Tack. I do that bit right.
Yeah. We do try and do roll tacks. Maria's got her hand up.
Unmute.
Maria.
I was going to ask, what does that mean? Back to the jib? That's what I got a bit confused by.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, I'll have a go at
I mean, to be
explaining
honest, I will only ever be on the jib when these things are happening, so I may as well know what I'm doing on the jib.
Gemma, do you want me to draw a picture?
Yes, please. Well, shall I start by explaining, and then I'll hand over to you, like usual, probably. So, when I was taught sailing in our mirror, as a crew member, your helm says ready about, you say ready, and you uncleat your jib sheets. And as they say lee ho, you launch out that jib sheet and you make sure it's completely free. And as you go through the tack, the jib is going like flap, 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 flap. And the boat comes through the tack, you move onto the new side, you've already got your jib sheet in your hand, and when you're on the new tack, you pull it in and off you go. Mm-hmm. Obviously and there's, having the jib cleated is not going to help you because you're kind of going through the wind. What happens in a roll tack, or what can be useful in a light wind, is to use the technique known as backing the jib or backwinding the jib to help turn the bow of the boat. So in a backwinding jib scenario, as the crew member, ready, you hold the jib, it's not in the cleats, but you're holding it and you don't let it out. So as the boat begins to turn, the jib is still tight on that side of the boat. And so you complete your turn, and you'll see on that video, the wind was still in that jib and it's pushing the jib around. And it's not until you get onto the new tack, you let it out and bring it in again. So it really helps to try and initiate that turn.
So what you're saying is you basically have the jib on the wrong side of the boat till the end of the tack.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the opposite way round to how the mainsail would be.
Exactly. But if you do it by accident, your helm can get really, really cross if you back it. But it can be a useful technique to help you bring the bow of the boat round in a light wind or in a roll tack situation. Vanessa. Yay.
Can you see this?
Yep.
So here's the boat going along on starboard. The red is an exaggerated jib. Mm-hmm. So they push the tiller across to tack onto port. Jib flappy flappy down the middle. Hold the jib. So it's pushed. So it's on the wrong side. It's aback. Mm-hmm. Being pushed that way. And then it ends up on the usual side. So just for that moment there, it's backing. And we're needing to keep it like that to help the boat turn. When Sonia and Jean came dart sailing with me, this was really important, wasn't it, guys? They're nodding.
Oh no,
yeah, we just
you can see how the wind then on the jib in that third picture will be pushing the bow of the boat around, so it will really help to bring the bow around and complete your tack.
What were you saying, Jean, in there?
We were having it's on the chat. We've just said, oh, like a dart.
Yeah. So with the dart, when it's got the two holes to push through, it's even more important. So yeah, can you see this one, Maria? Where the jib is effectively on the wrong side and the wind is filling it that way? Yeah.
I mean, my sailing's often like this anyway, but not on purpose. So
Okay, cool.
I'll
We didn't talk about that much last week because Sonia was mostly thinking about single-handers. Okay. All good.
I was just going to add that it is when we were talking about that centre of effort, where your sails are acting, using the jib is moving that forward for you. And we wanted to move it forward to turn the boat round.
I was going to see if I can find in this video where they back the jib. See if we can show that.
yeah, I didn't notice it. I didn't, because I always thought the jib seemed to be on the same side as the mainsail on that. But those children seem to be able to do it. Yeah, they're very well synchronized.
They're annoying children like that, I think, aren't they?
They have lots of goes. There's lack of continuity with her hairstyles. So
There, you can see it.
Yeah.
So instead of letting it out, she's keeping it in on that side. Yeah, that last, you can see it just before it comes across.
Maria, the way I remember it is you just do everything a bit too late to how you would naturally think you would pull the jib across.
What? Got no idea what's happening. I've got music coming from something.
Oh God.
Okay. So I'll send you all the links anyway, so you can have a look at some of those videos, single-handed and double-handed, and I'll share the notes that I had on the PowerPoint. Does anyone else have any questions, comments? Abby?
Just as a slight aside, the racing rules say that you can't come out of the tack faster than you went in. So when you roll tack, you can't use it to propel yourself forward at a great rate of knots.
Remember that, people. It's an important note. Yeah.
So what's the penalty, Abby, if you do that? Is it a 360, 720?
I have no idea. You get shouted at a lot. I think if you do it persistently, Vanessa, would it come under Rule 42?
It is a Rule 42 infringement, and it's a hard one to judge. Sometimes you'll have an umpire boat on the water with you.
Yeah, very useful.
Sorry about the music. Yeah, it's a Rule 42, and I'm trying to think. It's a 360 the first time, and then it sort of depends how many offences you commit. So I'm glad you mentioned that point, Abby. You'll find out why in a minute. Okay.
She's taped to my lap now, Abby.
Oh.
Go into the quiz, guys. Have you all got your Kahoot ready? I know Maria likes the quiz. Where did you come on Saturday, Maria?
Second.
We're going to expect you to be brilliant when we go on the water. Are you sharing?
No,
now?
I will in a second. Hold on.
All theoretical.
Hannah, have you got Kahoot lined up for the quiz?
What's this?
Okay, hang on. Gemma, could you enable my screen sharing?
Hannah, if you go on your internet and look for kahoot.it, Kahoot with a K.
You can get an app.
Or an app.
So what you need, Hannah, is you need both windows open. You need to be able to look at my screen, but you also need to be able to look on your screen, because that's where you're going to be able to enter your answers.
Okay, right.
So your screen is your answer pad. Everybody's seen that.
Can you all see that pin?
Oh,
so
right.
You need to go to kahoot.it and enter that game pin 9852713.
Can I just do the quiz on a bit of paper because I don't know how to fiddle with? I'm already looking at my phone.
Oh, that's right. It's a bit tricky, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You just won't be on the scoring, but yes, you can just.
That's
Or just
all
in your
right.
head, just remember which one.
I'm not expecting to score very highly.
Lad of the lake.
Lad of the
Who's
lake.
lad of the lake?
Nice.
It's a spelling mistake. It should be lady of the lake.
Oh.
I'm going to get
Oh,
changed.
Maria, is there something you've been wanting to tell us?
It's late, really. It does say.
I'm going to
she's
quit the
late
game
there,
and
so
re-come in.
you can go out and in again.
Exactly what I'm doing.
We haven't got Jane yet.
No.
There, I've just deleted you. Maria, you can join again.
Got Catherine. Sonia. Catherine. Jane.
Jane's not in yet.
A lot of J's.
Lady of the Lac.
I think there's a limit on letters.
You're the third time lucky.
Okay,
Right,
Hannah's made
I've
it.
deleted Maria again. She's going to have third time lucky. We haven't got Jane.
Can somebody wave to Jane?
Oh, was Jane? Oh, sorry. Was that?
I'm just messaging Jane.
Okay.
I don't know if she's got there. Looking confused.
I'm just watching.
Lady of the Lake. There we go. Maybe you
Oh,
can't
wow.
have a lot. Maybe there was a character limit. Was there a character limit, Maria?
Oh.
Jane's got
I
IT
think
help
I like
desk.
Lad of the Lake.
Yeah. Is that everyone right? Jenny?
Jane in.
She's just being done. I saw a hand come in to help her. Sonia, Hannah, Lake, Lady of the Lake.
Jane.
JS.
Okay, right,
Okay.
good to go.
What about Sally?
I'm watching.
Abby on there.
And Abby. Sorry, Sally, you're not going to do it.
No,
You'll do it on a bit of paper.
I'm doing it on paper. I daren't touch the screen.
Okay.
Abby doesn't like quizzes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Carry on.
Right, I'm going to hit start. How many questions are there? 10 questions. So basically on your screen, Hannah, you need to pick the one that's the right answer on my screen.
Oh my goodness, this is really confusing.
It's a teacher's thing. You should be using it.
I missed the first question.
Okay.
No, towards. Can you
The
just
answer's
put
not there.
colour, red, blue, yellow, green?
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
What? Hang on. There's a time limit.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Hannah, there's a time limit. Now you know.
How
Yeah,
can I
I've
be
got blue.
81 points behind Jen already? I've only had one question.
Yeah, but she was quicker. It means she was quicker.
Oh, I see. I didn't realise there's a speed dimension.
Oh, I
So
did.
basically, these all got it right. Sonia answered the quickest. Gemma
barely
answered the
see the
slowest, but
question.
still got it right.
Sonia's found the submit button this time.
I
Yeah.
have. I've learned. I've been practicing for this.
This is brutal.
Right, here we go. So multi-select, you need to touch more than one, and then there's a select button at the bottom, and if you don't hit the select button, it doesn't work.
Why is Jai being faster than attacking?
So 20 seconds to go.
B.
How many?
E.
12, 11, 10. It's on the side of the screen
Yeah.
next to
Oh,
the...
I think I've done
How
that
many
wrong.
answers can we give?
Quite
Oh, there we
hard.
are.
2 screens.
Okay, so
Partially correct.
you would have got half points if you only got one of them.
Oh, I didn't
What?
realise
You can give
click
2
through.
answers.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
said,
a
multi-select.
Hannah.
Oh, didn't see
And
that.
then you
I have not got the hang of this.
select button.
Blimey.
No, yeah, we had Nikki challenged me over the red one. And I suppose yes, but I'm also going to say no, typical yeah, but no, but. And I think yellow I made out of the rubbish in my head. So I'm hoping that yellow is also wrong. But I'm
Centre of
not.
effort's behind the rudder.
That'd be impressive.
Oh yeah, the yellow
Sounds
is
like you're doing
definitely wrong.
Would you have to be upside down or?
Yeah.
Yeah, like on your end. The bell's sticking up in the air.
I'm sure Sonia could work out the physics on that. Right, next one coming up. So Sonia's still in the lead. Jen is moving up. Hannah has got the hang of it because she is in third. Okay. So this is a multi-select again, so you can choose more than one answer and then hit the select button at the bottom.
Turn away from the wind. Yeah. I've done mine.
Five seconds.
Oh, that had.
Yeah, I picked two.
Right.
And then I was like, there is a third. And then thought, oh wait, I can actually pick three.
Yeah.
I deselected the third because I was like, oh, but I probably can't have three.
Yeah.
But the main thing is we've only mentioned backing the jib very slightly. So the main thing is that you've got blue and green, which are the things that Sonia talked about last week. So yeah, all good. Well done. Oh, Sonia. Sonia's on fire. Quick,
Jen is closing the gap.
This is where it goes wrong.
If I just picked enough answers, I would have been all right.
Yeah, me too.
Right, this is not a multi-select. This is a
Oh,
single
I know
answer.
this one.
Oh no.
Sorry about the picture, Julia. That's you on this.
My boat.
Yeah, it is your boat, Jen.
Yay. Where's my boat?
You recognised it at that angle.
Slap.
Yeah, quite considerably more than the rest of it, I assure you.
Okay, yeah, largely good.
Hopefully Sonia was ahead on that one. Yes.
Yeah, well done, Sonia.
Sonia's got speedy internet too, I bet.
I have. I've got a new screen and everything, so I can see.
Chases Sonia down.
One keeps cutting out.
Right, and the multi-select.
Multi-select, right. What can you see?
Oh. A nice young man in a laser is the answer.
12 seconds.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Woohoo!
Okay, so that young man was Sam Whaley, who I believe is laser national champion. So although it looks like his bow was raised, he's actually planing. So I'm not sure that he is sitting too far back. Couldn't see much wake behind him. Needs to bend his knees more. The answers I was really looking for here is the yellow answer. Remember we talked about the 120-degree angles?
Yeah.
That we want to describe in hiking. So I don't think he could bend his knees more unless he'd done something drastic to his toe straps. So yeah, the main answer was yellow, and then obviously also green is a bonus, isn't it? And the boat was beautifully flat. So all good. Well done, guys.
So Hannah, that was the 120-degree angle of the knees and of the hips.
Yeah. Did you see the picture that we put up of Gemma?
Feel like I saw something somewhere.
Gemma was in a Sonia.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hesitated.
Oh. We talked about this ages
Hiking,
ago.
yes or no?
Hiking?
Yes, can see where they
I
are.
don't know what that is.
Not a multi-select.
Drop hiking. I don't know what drop hiking is.
Sticking your bum out
Talked
too
about
far.
drop hiking last lockdown.
Oh yeah.
5
yeah,
seconds.
No,
Was that multi answer? So I think.
it's
Oh,
horrible.
no.
Yeah, big.
Yeah.
I
Drain on
didn't
the knee.
answer.
Run out of time.
Yeah, so drop hiking is an old-fashioned hiking method. some boats still have to use it because of the way they're designed. But we talked about, I think it was Pippa last week said something about your legs hanging off your joints being really bad for you, and drop hiking is a great example of that. It's where your bum is really low, much lower than your knees. So you're putting a massive amount of strain on your knees and on your ankles. So yeah, good, well done. Okay. Oh, Sonia.
It's a close
Oh, it's
one.
close.
Didn't even answer that time. Christ.
Okay. Multi-select.
Oh. Stand by to jibe. What should you do next?
Push the tiller hard at the sail.
Done that wrong.
I think I'd just duck. Be safe.
She's in a Europe, guys. Not that that makes a lot of difference.
Oh, you have to duck very far there. You have to really duck.
It's funny though, because she looks like she's got plenty of room. So yes, she needs to duck, definitely. Otherwise she's going to get whopped out of the boat. But I didn't have that down as a serious right answer, obviously. So yeah, if she'd actually kept her tiller still in that situation, if she'd kept her tiller still and moved backwards and towards the windward side, the boat would have jibed itself because that sail was really ready to come across. But if she'd wanted to initiate that jibe, then yes, push the tiller across as well.
Would pulling on the falls be an option in that situation?
Yeah, it would. You'd want to time it right though, Gemma, because what can happen when if you pull on the falls at the wrong time, it can unbalance the boat. It's a good idea, especially in a Europe, to know where the boom is, that's for sure. So yes, yeah. Okay. Ooh, big jump. Sonia, what happened?
I forgot to press select again.
Oh, Sonia.
I was sat here
All that
thinking, why did I
science and
take
she
my
can't press
answer?
a button.
Why should we roll tack? Is this multi?
Nope.
No. So you just.
Well done, everybody. So who put blue? Because I think
that
Abby.
was me. I think that was me.
Well, what did Abby say about that, Hannah?
Oh yeah, you're not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
It doesn't mean to say you don't.
Now we know why
Rule
Hannah's
42.
so speedy around the race course. Rule 42.
I'll get you.
Okay, well done, guys. Good.
Oh wait, I've lost my other screen now.
Which one? The reading?
I can't
We can
see
read
the
them out.
Kahoot one, or have you stopped it?
No,
No, it's still going.
I'll read the question and answers out because I think it's the last one coming up. Ready? Question 9. Which way does this boat want to go? This isn't going to help, of course, because of the picture. So it's tipping.
Can you see it, Gemma?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Change my mind.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Who put yellow? Was that you, Sonia?
It was me, because that's what always happens to me. So
That's exactly what she said when we did the test.
Yeah, yeah. So what could you see in the picture there, guys? Did the boat actually wanted to sail away from the wind? What was the evidence for that?
Because where the tiller was, she was holding the tiller to try and counteract it, I thought.
She was pushing the tiller slightly away, wasn't she? which was going to, if she could, she'd make the boat head up, but the boat itself wanted to turn away from the wind. There were two things.
The sail.
Yeah, the sail was right out, well done. And the other thing?
Where was she heeling to windward?
She was heeling to windward because she was sitting right back, wasn't she? And almost hiking out. And actually, Sonia's probably right. It probably was going to result in that lovely roll into windward. But the boat wanted to go away. And I think she was having a last-ditch attempt at straightening up by pushing towards the sail.
And talking of last-ditch attempts,
what?
Question 10. Oh, right. You've all got to be really, really, really quick, even if it's wrong, and then you might beat Jen.
Sally's on on fire, apparently. Not Sally, Maria, sorry. Yeah. Okay, last question.
Sally might be on fire. We can't see her. So she might be.
Oh, no.
My screen's got stuck.
Oh, no.
I can't do anything.
That admin function.
It's a picture of a heeling bosun, Jen. Which way does it want to go? It's heeling to windward, to leeward.
Yeah.
Everyone got it right.
Everyone got it right. What was the evidence to tell you that it wanted to go towards the wind? Anyone? Sonia?
It was heeling, and the sails were right in.
Yeah, good. Okay, so
in third place, Maria.
Ooh. 3, 4, 5.
Jen still made it.
What happened to Sonia at the last minute?
She's fourth.
I deliberately put the capsize to windward answer because it felt like you'd put that there for me.
I did. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well done. So hopefully by the time we get on the water, we'll all be brilliant at steering our boat without a rudder. So try and remember. Okay, so are you there, Jen? I can't see you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand over now for a general chat with Jen. Looks like Skip is joining in. And yeah, see how we go. Take it away.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, guys. It's been really, really lovely to just kind of get an insight as to what you guys get up to. And it's just such a nice community feel to it like this, isn't it? That we can still see each other and spend time together at the moment. Is this something you guys would continue, do you think? Even when lockdown doesn't happen, say in the winter, if you're not on the water, would you continue to do this?
Well, I think it'd be a good idea. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But I feel really embarrassed that I won. Sorry.
I mean, we go all year anyway. I mean, in a normal year, we're there all winter, and we go out in the water if it's the weather's reasonable enough. And in days where we've got a really bad storm or it's kind of the lake's iced over, which sometimes happens, and we can't go sailing, then we do something indoors anyway. But the advantage of being actually at the sailing club rather than at home is that most of the people here make really fantastic cakes, which I can't make. Yes. Especially Veronica, I want to call her out, is one of the best cake makers. And Alice, but she's not here. They both make really nice cakes, and so we all really like to come and have those as well. So, and that's really nice because even when the weather is too bad for us to sail, we still do something internal. We did all this stuff with charts of the Southampton.
Oh yeah.
That was great for, wasn't it, Veronica?
That was great. I was so looking forward to getting on the sea. I was just desperate to try my hand at not proper sailing, but doing some sailing, on bigger stretch of water.
Guys, I was going to ask Jean, can you, if she would do something on charts for next week. Would that be a good thing?
Oh.
Where would you like to?
Please.
Sorry?
Where?
Oh, somewhere
warm
East
and sunny.
Coast. Yeah, somewhere warm and sunny, but somewhere East Coast that we might know. Jen, do you recognise Jean? Because she was in one of your pictures for Women on the Water somewhere else with yachts or keelboats.
Oh, right. Did you come to Colne Yacht Club?
Yeah, so I'm a keelboat instructor at Colne Yacht Club. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
On the Sonatas. So.
Yeah, I was just there the other day.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they had their inspection. So I was talking to Jane and they just seemed to be getting on really well, which is lovely. Yeah.
But these two groups to meet at some point.
Yeah, I thought so. I think was it you, Veronica? You'd said that you were gutted you didn't get to go out on the sea. Was it a Brightling Sea you guys were going to go? Yeah, I think I knew about that a little while ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
Also, we're going to go and meet up with. We're going to go and meet up with Jane at Snettisham at some point. We hope.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, it's really great up there, and you've got the option of lake and sea. So yeah, I saw them a few months ago as well, actually, because I did their inspection too, and the ladies were on the lake, which is great. Yes, going back to cake, vitally important, completely agree with that. Are any of you ladies gluten-free out of interest? Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go on a mission to make a reasonably good gluten-free cake when I come up and see you then, because I am gluten-free, so I have to be careful with my cake, but it's something I definitely love and miss a lot of the time.
We had a poll last week. What was the winner? Can you remember which cake we preferred? Gemma, can you remember? Because you set up
I think I was asking more about proximity, like what has everyone got today?
Okay.
Anything homemade? Yeah, it was homemade didn't feature that highly. I felt. I think we could do more in that arena for next week.
We had Catherine Swiss roll, didn't we? That was awesome.
Yeah.
If I make a cake, it's only me eating it, and that's not good. So.
That is the trouble, isn't it? When you bake a cake, there's far too much of it in your kitchen. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was, what has the ladies group done for you in terms of your sailing and confidence and getting out on the water compared to when you didn't have it before? Is that too much of an open question?
I retired finally. I retired officially at the end of December, but I bailed out of work and scrambled around for 2 years. And what it's done for me is give me another day on the water, not just Sunday racing. And it's, even when we're not in COVID, being on the water is very important to my mental health and well-being generally. And I just love it. And to be able, I love sailing on Sunday with the guys and racing, and yeah, that's great. But to do this, it's very relaxed. I have learned, I have to say, a heck of a lot, even though I've been doing this all my life. I'm learning from these sessions in a very relaxed, coffee drinking, cake eating way.
Very good.
I think for me, it's really helped to fill in all those gaps that I had, because I've been sailing a long time, but with different people in different boats, and I had never had any formal teaching until I joined Hunts, and since then I've done my DI and hopefully passed on some things to the kids, which I love teaching. But it's just really helped fill in all the gaps and bad habits and address all of those. I think on the theory side it's helped, but most of all, like Abby says, it's just such a brilliant group, and you're really free to try things out and experiment, and you never worry that you're going to make a fool of yourself, because everyone's so lovely and supportive. My family are always massively supportive of my Tuesday sailing, because I'm always in such a good mood when I come home, so they love it too.
Any other thoughts?
Well, I never sailed before I joined Women on Water, and I don't think I would have really sort of maybe I wouldn't have continued had it not, I was desperate I was really keen to have a go, but I think I wouldn't have had the confidence to keep going, and I'd have felt a bit embarrassed. And so having a women's group, I just felt there was no there was no pressure. There was plenty of time to absorb the information, to have a go, and people were so encouraging. I just felt very confident in the tuition I was getting, and it wasn't too big a lake that I could get lost. And there was always somebody there supporting on safety and shouting a few bits of advice, even though sometimes I couldn't always hear it. Just a really nice atmosphere. And I've just really enjoyed, making friendships and just knowing that, the group is there. And if I don't fancy sailing, if I don't feel particularly confident, or it doesn't matter if I don't get on the water, I can still watch from the side. And the tuition, I know I've been going now for 10 years, and I know people have repeated things a number of times, but you begin to forget, and then it's really good to sort of be reminded and have refreshers and then consolidate your learning. And looking at all those roll tacks today, and I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, there's no way I could get the boat to tip like that, because my centre of gravity, I'd already be in the water. I'd never be able to sort of get myself back up again because of my weight. But I know that people will, even if I made a little bit of an attempt to, tip the boat a bit, I'd get lots of praise and brilliant. So that would, it's great to see what you could do. But even if I attempt a little bit, I know it'll be, I know what the theory is now, and I can have a go. But it doesn't matter if I don't do the perfect roll tack.
It's
anyway,
not about perfection, is it? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's about achievement, self-achievement, and just being in a supportive environment. I think that's
I'm going to add to that about quite often, I'm usually on safety because I actually prefer being in a controlled powerboat than on a not quite very controlled by me dinghy. But I've learned a lot just from being in there and seeing other people sailing and having usually Nessa, but an instructor with me in the boat explaining how things are going. And I wouldn't have learned to drive a powerboat or got the practice that a lot of people don't get of driving a powerboat every week, and to become a powerboat instructor and be able to teach people how to do that. So it's not quite the sailing bit, but it's I wouldn't feel that I'm any less important because I'm not out in a boat, in a dinghy, and I like driving the tractor too.
Indeed, still, Nikki, to have trailer reversing lessons.
Oh yes, we need to have trailer reversing lessons.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, it's not just about the sailing, is it?
No.
Powerboating, driving a tractor, eating cake, seeing each other.
Fixing boats as well.
Yeah, I know Jane wants to say something. She'll be back in a minute.
Brilliant.
Here she is.
Here she is, just in time.
Jane, your turn.
Not to throw you in the deep end. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Hear me now?
Okay. Yeah.
I agree with everything that's been said so far. But what I really want to add is that the group is so inclusive. Like, because I'm deaf, I don't know if you know that. And lots of little things, like with the stopping with the sailing, we've had to go on to Zoom. That is something I would never have done with hearing people before because of the access issues. But I found it to be completely the opposite. Like today, Catherine's been typing everything in. They've been able to keep up. People have given me notes beforehand. I think on YouTube, making sure the subtitles are there. That you could not ask for more from this group. And Vanessa, well, you've been on my journey from the beginning, and I've now got my own boat. So I can't thank it enough.
Fantastic. It's so great to hear your stories, guys. It really, really is. And if you're happy, I'd really love to share it with other sailing clubs and other groups and help to encourage more ladies groups grow in the area. So if you're happy for me to do that, I'd love to.
As I say, we actually had another ladies group coming to visit us as well. I think it was last
Hartford
year.
Ladies.
Hartford Ladies Yacht Club, or Hartford Yacht Club Ladies, wasn't it? Did they call it Yacht Club?
Hartford County Yacht Club. Yeah. So
yeah, that was
Jen, we had Liz and Carly and Helen and Janet come.
Yeah.
And I think, Gemma, somebody sailed a fever with, was it you, Sonia, sailed a fever with Carly and then the other 3 took out one of the 2000s, because for them we're a big piece of water. So yeah,
and they brought cake,
and they brought amazing cake.
And I think we hope to replicate,
wasn't it?
do it, you know, what's the word?
Reciprocal.
That's the word.
Yeah,
Reciprocate it
yeah,
when we're
yeah.
allowed to again.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's quite cool, just to meet different people that way.
Lovely. I think it was beginning of last year. I actually had a date booked in, and forgive me because it was going to be with either you guys or Herts County, with Nessa, to create a video, a promotional video. So it was Nessa. Was that with the Hunts group?
Yeah, it was with this group, and I think we were going to go and see the Herts County guys as well. So
that's
yeah,
what I thought. I think
yeah,
that's where my confusion is.
Yeah.
So eventually, once we're back, I will come and see you,
Julia
and we
has
will
to
go
go.
sailing eventually.
Juliet is waving at us.
Is she going? Or
Hi. I just wanted to not, of course, take the attention from Hunt. I have joined this group only a month ago, and I am absolutely addicted. I love the people, I love the tuitions, and I love the lake. My family, we are members of the Camp Sailing Club on the river. And, you know, starting as an adult, I find the river really difficult. I'm always swimming instead of sailing. But if there is a opportunities to encourage women groups there as well, or maybe just one women group, that would be wonderful. Jen, if you can give them a prod. I'm not going to say that I still will not leave women on the water because I'm already totally addicted, but it's there isn't something like that, for example, at CAM, and I think it's really good. I am a mother of 3. Before the lockdown, of course, when we're not in lockdown, I am on the river every weekend, and I do no sailing. I improve nothing unless I go to Women on the Water.
Wow. Yeah, it's having the opportunities, isn't it, to do that? And everywhere offers different things, you know, so not everywhere is going to offer the right thing, but somewhere else will. And it's nice that you've been able to find a balance in 2 places. And yeah, I mean, I'm all for talking to anywhere, any centre, any club that wants to potentially start up something new, something different to offer some of these opportunities. At the same time, the people at those places need a voice. You know, it's great if you can speak up and just mention to anybody in the club that's got some influence at that place that you want to do this. If they've got demand for these things, that's what gets the ball rolling. So at any point, you know, if anybody's got ideas about what they want to do, always raise the voice, always pose the idea, and then that's where I can come in and start helping and supporting clubs on how to get things started, what's going to suit them, talk to other places like you guys to get some ideas. So, you know, if whatever I can do, I will.
I think too, when we started this at Hunts, there was I didn't know if there was demand. We just thought it would be a good idea. The club was really open to it, so we started it, and the response was amazing. I think a lot of clubs will have the demand and just not realise it, because there's a whole host of people out there that want to go sailing during the week. A lot of them are women, and you know, if you build it, and then you know they will come definitely. Jen, I will also say that you've got a whole host of dinghy instructors sitting incognito in front of you, like Gemma and Sonia and Catherine,
Hannah,
and Hannah, and then we've got Jean as a keelboat instructor. One thing, we've got Nikki, who's a powerboat instructor. One thing that always impresses me about the group, so Catherine and Julia just joined in the last few weeks and fitted in immediately well. And I will say that part of that is that people who are the instructors in the group are always happy to drop what they're doing and take out the new people. And without that, I wouldn't be able to manage, because I wouldn't be able to introduce new people. But I don't need to, because the group does it for me. They just absorb people and make them welcome straight away. And that is always fantastic to see. You never see anybody struggling.
Amazing. Yeah,
Can
fantastic.
I also just say, as an instructor, for me, actually coming to hunts is about me. So it's about me in a very safe and a very calm and a very competent environment, being able to upskill myself. So it's being able to say, okay, well, nobody minds that you're an instructor. You know, suddenly you don't have to. There's no pressure to get it right or to do it right. You know, I can make mistakes, so I can come to a supportive group and I can make mistakes, and that is just, yeah, phenomenal. I really appreciate that. So
it's really good to have a time to sail for yourself, because often, like, well, I've got two children, and right, maths of how long I haven't sailed for, but confuses me, and I haven't sailed properly for a long time, because it's always with a little child that I go sailing, or I'm instructing, and so to actually come and sail for myself is really good. And I'd also just like to echo the fact that it's such a welcoming group, because, as I say, I joined in September, we moved to the area in March, and so I hadn't met anybody locally, so it was really nice to meet a whole load of people who, like, within 2 weeks I was part of the group, which is amazing, really. So
Lovely. Abby?
I just wanted to say, one of the things I think that is valuable about WoW is you can try out a lot of different boats.
Yeah.
There are the club boats, Picos, Toppers, Optimists, if you're feeling brave. There's 2000, Vago, whatever. So there's a variety of things, but also people will lend you their boats. If you want to go try what a Lightning feels like, or a Bite feels like, or a D0 feels like, you get to try them all before you come down on what side. And maybe you don't want to buy a boat. Maybe you just want to sail one of the club ones that's there. But it's an opportunity that is there that's not necessarily available otherwise.
Maria, did you sail Club 2000s at WoW before you then were allowed in with Dirk? Well, I just wondered if that was a bonus for you actually being able to sail with him.
I think I only sailed the 2000 with Dirk actually at the club before. So I think he just wanted the 2000 because previously, before we had the children, we had our RS 200 at Grapham, and we just spent our whole time swimming in the lake. And so he wanted something that we would spend less time swimming in the lake and more time sailing on the lake. So he went for something with slightly smaller sails.
But I suppose after lockdown, if you wanted to learn more things, you know, you've got a Club 2000 and one of these guys could go out with you, so you could learn to, I don't know, back the jib, so you can impress him when you go and sail with him.
Because I'm not allowed to go out the later 2000 on my own, I don't think it's his baby.
Well, it's been really, really good to hear all your stories and thoughts about the group, and I'm sure it has been for Nessa, you know, after started the group, just to kind of get a bit of an idea of kind of how you feel about the group, really, and it's lovely. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you for having me again. If it's all right, Gemma, are you all right to send me this video?
Yeah, will do. Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think I had any more questions. Just again, thank you for having me, guys.
Well, if you feel like you need to do another quiz to win, just to prove it wasn't a fluke, you can always join us on another day.
It was just beginner's luck, honestly. There we go.
You are supposed to know stuff, Jen. You are a coach, after all.
It'd
be a bit worrying.
Well,
cool.
Yeah. Anyways. But so I don't know what happens next with you guys. I'm just going to hand back over and let you do whatever happens next.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming. It's been very nice having you. Next time, come back and have cake.
I just wanted to add really that, as with any group, I think what creates the wonderful atmosphere that we have is really created by Nessa and your kind of gentle, encouraging leadership. I think has created this wonderful group for us all, and I think we're all very grateful. I just want to say thank you, really.
Yes,
Thank you, Gemma. Thank you, guys. You're all wonderful. Love you very
So what
much.
are we doing? So what are we doing next week?
Oh well, Jean, what do you think?
Oh yes, charts.
Yes, I can do something
Maybe
on.
do a bit of passage planning.
Yep.
Is
I'll
that
take you on a trip.
Wave
Do you
your
read?
hands if you're interested in passage planning.
Is it?
Yeah,
wanna hold the
yeah.
ruler and stuff?
Nikki's talking about complicated ways of doing it.
Well, no, I was just thinking it might be worth sending a document with a bit of the map on it so that people could either print it out or whatever, the chart,
Yeah.
sorry. So, you know, when you want to put a ruler across it or use the little thingies, they can do that physically as well, because it's quite hard to see that sort of thing on a screen sometimes. If you pick a bit of chart and scan it in or photo it or whatever.
So, do you want to do somewhere off the east coast? Where do people go? As many people have sailed off Harwich, out of Harwich Yacht Club. Have you? Do you go there in the summer or?
I've
Brightling Sea.
Sorry, what was that, Abby?
Brightling Sea. It's the only place I've been.
Brightling Sea is the place that I suppose I know best. Felixstowe, that sort of area.
You can come to Malden if you like. Come say hi. That's where I live.
Yeah.
Come all the way up the river.
Are you moving from Malden to Malden, Jen?
Pretty much. It's Haybridge Basin, so it is just the other side of the river at this end. So it's a mile up, a mile as the crow flies. And I'm looking out over the river, so very excited.
Excellent. Very exciting. We'll all go round to Jen's then as soon as lockdown's over.
More than welcome.
Wow, housewarming.
Yeah.
I need to escape early this week.
Yeah.
See you all soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Sonia.
See you, Sonia.
What did Catherine just say?
Sorry, I don't know where any of these places are that you're mentioning. I know Chichester Harbour and Hailing Island, Whitstable.
Are you a Kent person?
No, I'm sorry, but my parents are sick.
Oh, Sally says she does want to say something. Sally, did you want me to say it? Do you want to type or you want to talk?
No, I'm just about to go. So thank you very much.
Okay, see you next time, Sally.
Bye,
Yeah.
bye, Sally.
Bye, Sally.
Bye.
Jean, let me know if you want me to send anything out in advance next week, Jean, if you want me to send out anything to anyone.
Okay, I'll have a think and perhaps I'll email you then, Gemma.
Okie dokes.
Just do what you're comfortable with, Jean.
Okie dokie.
Where is Brightling Sea? Is it Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex?
Essex. Quite near to Colchester.
Mm.
Yeah, Brightling Sea is near Mersey Island.
Mersey Island,
Yeah, it's lovely.
So around from Brightling Sea to West Mersey and go and get some oysters.
We'll take you on a trip, Catherine. When we're out of lockdown, we'll go on a trip to Brightling Sea. That was what we planned. So
Yes.
I'll be there. I'll come along.
Yes, please.
If that's all right.
Great.
Well, guys, I've got an exciting afternoon making Christmas wreaths in my bushcraft session.
Oh.
So it'll be
lovely.
Christmas wreaths all the way up to Christmas now for bushcraft. So I will be as sick of them as I am of making pointed sticks.
We'll probably have a wreath on every window and door.
Yeah, we'll be
Have you seen
surrounded.
those? Have you seen the bushcraft reindeer you can make?
Don't talk to me. They're not involving corks, are they, Gemma?
No.
That's
No?
not bushcraft.
Nikki makes these bloody reindeer every Christmas that involve corks. Guys, I can't stand the sight of them.
Oh, we won't be this year because we
Oh
can't do
no,
it
they won't be
guys.
making it this
Can't
year.
do it
Thank
virtually.
God, a respite. No.
No, we haven't seen the reindeer. Send us a link.
Send us a link, Gemma. We can do that in the session going up. Hannah, you could help us do something creative in the session coming up to Christmas.
Christmas craft, wow.
Yeah, on Zoom.
definitely, on Zoom. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh dear, don't even go.
I'm going. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Abby.
Abby.
Bye.
Bye then.
Bye, Abby.
I need to go too. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, we probably all need to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
gonna
I'm
say
gonna go
goodbye
and
as
put
well,
my
guys.
school uniform on. So
Yeah.
I'll see
Go
you
and
next
walk this.
week, guys. Thank you.
Gonna walk my
Thanks
dog.
a lot. Take care.
Bye.
The postie arrived.
Thank you.